I didn't want to live like that anymore. It was heartbreaking to be in that kind of position. Hello. I'm so glad that you're here. I wanted to talk to you in particularly, because I know how you must feel. You might be thinking, how in the world would I know? I do. And I want you to know you're not alone. And I have really good news. It's going to be okay. Wherever you are right now, I mean internally, I don't mean physically. Wherever you are in your mind, in your life, it's okay. If it's not where you want to be, we are always changing. Because of that, this moment right now, where you are right now, is not where you'll be tomorrow. And it's also not where you'll be next month. We're always changing. Our environment's always changing. And as soon as we understand that we have a choice in what we're doing, in who we're being, what our existence is made up of, we have a choice in that matter. And then once we make that choice, we get to live out that choice and get into alignment with that choice, into that energy. It's not an overnight snap of the fingers thing. And neither was how we got to where we are right now, where you are right now. So where you are is not where you want to be, whether you are suffering from an illness right now, or it's your situation in your relationship, it's your situation economically, whatever the case may be. You have a choice. It doesn't have to stay the same just because you did the same thing yesterday and the day before and the day before. Tomorrow can be a new adventure. It could be the beginning of a new journey, your new step, your new phase, your new life. And it can start with one change. One change. It doesn't sound real, but it is. When you make that one change and you accomplish the change, and you notice how you feel after that change, believe me, the feeling is big, and it's so big that it's going to actually influence you to do the second thing. And then that feeling is multiplied. It's doubled. That feeling is doubled. So guess what's going to happen? You're going to add a third. That's right. And the feeling triples. I'm not saying that's how you're going to feel all the time, right? I mean, that would be kind of weird and like not realistic at all and not fun, because feeling really amazing would seem not so special anymore, right? But it definitely feels so much better than not being happy, being sick, not being satisfied with your life. So it's worth choosing some step that's going to help you move into your new reality, your new manifestation, your new energy. Because that's what you're aligning with, is that energy of the reality that you see for yourself. It does not just have to stay in your dream. I had a time in my life when I thought my life was over as I knew it. And at that point, my life consisted of the four walls of my room and being in bed all the time. And that was a huge contrast from my life before that. I'm a mom and I have kids, and for a long time, about 10 years, and it wasn't the only time, but the last time that I went through a long-term illness that had a enormous, I can't even think of a good word, that really had a tremendous impact on me, was that 10 years. Because as I approached the 10-year mark, I began to feel like I didn't want to live like that anymore, which I'm sure you could understand. Who would want to live like that? I don't want to say I had no life, because I did have a life. I just couldn't participate in it, and I couldn't be in it enough. I heard it. It was heartbreaking to be in that kind of position. Sorry. So when it hits that hard, when it goes that deep, you know that you have to make a change, and there's no choice. You have to make a change. You're not in this life to be unhappy all the time, because you're way, way, way too special for that. Way too important. And too many people love you and care about you and miss the real you. You know, being funny and charismatic, all those things that you know are deep down inside. I know they are. And they're going to still be there as you get closer and closer to the person that you truly are. I know you can get there. I do. And I'm really happy for you, because I know you're going to do it. So think about something. For me, I've said before, it was dancing. I plan to take dancing and use it as my exercise, and it it remedies my restless leg syndrome. So dancing is a huge, huge tool for me. It's the first thing that helped me wake up. I wake up more every day. And it is completely different than where I was at that 10-year mark. Like I said, it's not an overnight thing. But it doesn't take long before you're going to feel completely different, so much better. And it takes strength and courage, a little bit each day, but just start with the first day and the first activity, just the first thing. Face the first activity. The first day you do your activity, whatever it may be, whether you're going to walk, journal, dance like I'm dancing, meditate. That's also something that I've added in. Yoga, weightlifting, cooking, painting, anything that is something you could do if you were bleeding. I know that sounds so weird, but I think that is something I could do. And I'm not talking about bleeding, like bleeding to death. I'm not talking about like a huge cut. I mean, like, if you were just so and a really good song came on. For me, if I wasn't feeling so good, or if I had a headache and a song that I love came on, I could probably still dance. And if it was a favorite, I probably would get up and dance. And then I'd sit back down. So think of what it is that you could do under any circumstance. And that's where you should start. That's it. That's that feeling that you get. That's actually the voice that you're going to start listening to more, because that is your true answer. That is your soul speaking. And it is your truth. And it knows. And it's always known. It's just we never could really, we didn't know we could trust that voice and that knowing. So we didn't practice listening to it. Therefore, we're not good at listening to it. So the more we listen to that intuition, the better we'll be at it. And the easier it will come to do that. To know that intuition and to not question, is that my truth or is that my ego talking? And the more we do this listening and tapping into that, the more we tap in, the more connected we feel and the stronger the communication will get. I'm very excited for you. I cannot wait to hear what you're going to do first. If you want to let me know, feel free to write it down below in the comments. And if you're interested in hearing more about listening to this inner knowing, I will put another video up. It also talks about listening to that voice and tapping into that inner knowing, that intuition. Be gentle with yourself and trust. Take good care, and namaste.